You know, kind of tired. Not gonna lie. Happy Thursday. Hope everyone's doing great. We're back at it again. We want to we'll drop the link if anyone wants to join. Want to talk up the Army Navy game a little bit. Um Not really much to predict or preview. I mean, you can if you want to. If you want to come on. What's up, Cody? Good to see you. Um I don't really do score predictions for the Army Navy game because you never know what's going to happen. Plus, to pick sides in this one, I love all the service academies and um, support all the troops, no matter where you serve. So, love and appreciate all of you. But if you want to talk about that, we can. We've already done basically our previews for some of these bowl games. Give me just 1 second. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna look at some bowl games a little bit. More so, I mean, we could look back at our pick'ems, but I think really what we want to look at today is so much the. We'll talk the Army Navy game if you guys want to. I'm not an expert on those teams. I kind of stick to the Power Four and whoever makes the college football playoff. Um, and outside of that, um, I'll go ahead and get in my. We'll do two. Uh, I got banners for 3 games. That's the thing. If you want to look at them with me, drop that StreamYard link for you guys. You guys could come on in and we can get you on the show. But I want to look at the Tulane Ole Miss game today, Alabama Oklahoma, and I want to look at Oregon and James Madison. And then there's well, we might as well. Excuse me. We might as well just do them all, right? How many first round games we got? One, two, three. Oh shoot, we might as well just do them all. Let me make one for Miami, Texas A&M. Hold on. Round one CFP. Miami versus Tamu. Prediction. I won't spoil it and say it. I'll just type it up. Just basic score there, but we'll get into it. Mm. All right, let's do this. I'll just put up pictures and stuff maybe when I do the because I'll clip these and edit them anyway. But let's do this. Let's start with the Tulane Ole Miss game. We'll talk about that. Mm, so I got to pull that up. Well, it's college football's postseason time. We got a lot of ball games to look at, but this next week or so, up until we kick off all these round one games, we're going to be looking at the round one games, of course, for the college football playoff. Why not go ahead and talk Tulane and Ole Miss? So you talk about it, and Ole Miss, I think, deserves this playoff spot, as does Tulane. Um, 11-2, won their conference. Ole Miss just barely missed the SEC title game. Ole Miss is favored in this game. It's a home playoff game for the Rebels. Lane Kiffin's out of the picture. He's going to LSU. You talk about Pete Golding. He's more of a defensive side of the football type of guy. Previously, the defensive coordinator at Ole Miss and Alabama. Um, 17 and a half point spread as far as um, this game goes. Now, technically speaking, we do have in our Ballard Sports Media bracket for this one, we have Tulane beating Ole Miss because I think Dominic had picked that. Me, I don't know. If I have to give my own personal score prediction on this one, I'm picking Ole Miss to win. I just think they're the better team. I think being at home gives them a little bit of a advantage. I think they're in a good position. They've earned their right to be here in this game. So is Tulane, of course. But, um, when you talk about both of these teams, I mean, you look at, especially for Ole Miss, they're more on the offensive side, at least so far this year. Um, they're on the offensive side. We'll see what Pete Golding does on defense. And then as a head coach, Trinidad Chambliss has done really well as a senior um, for this team. 6'1", 200 pounds. And then you look at the running backs with Logan Diggs, who is from Louisiana, was actually at LSU. Uh, Kawan Lacey. There's a couple different guys they go with at that running back position. So far this year, they love to run the football really effectively. Kewan Lacey, 1,279 yards on the ground. Harrison Wallace is the lead receiver at 719 yards. Very explosive offense. What more could you say? I think over the years, even though it hasn't been the best, it has been very much improved on the defensive side of the ball. TJ Daughtery, I don't know how you anyway, 77 tackles for him. He leads the team. Wyatt Williams Jr., the safety in the backfield on defense, leads the team with 3 interceptions on his own. Um, Total number of sacks, 25 sacks for this defense, 151 yards lost. You have guys like Will Eccles, defensive tackle, 4.5 sacks for 35 yards, 3.5 sacks for Cam Franklin for 10 yards, 6.5. The leader in sacks, Prince Will Uma Mielen, which I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but they talk about him a lot on the broadcast, and it's guys like him that are going to go high in the draft this upcoming year, and just looking forward to seeing what these guys can do defensively. If anything, you look at for the Tulane Green Wave. Jake Retzlaff is the quarterback, and if you don't know that name, he was the former BYU quarterback. He had some allegations this offseason. He entered the portal. He comes over to Tulane. You put that stuff aside, I really don't want to get into it, but he's done really well. He's the lead rusher. He's very mobile, calm in the pocket, 2,000 yards throwing, plus 610 yards rushing on the ground for Jake Retzlaff at quarterback. And he's the team's leading rusher. Shaz Preston is the lead receiver for Tulane at 598, former Alabama wide receiver. You got a couple guys, Jack Tyson Cho. How do you say that? I don't know. I'm butchering some of these names today because some names are pretty hard to pronounce. But anyway, he leads the team in tackles at 77 as a safety. Jaheim Johnson with 4 interceptions on the year as a defensive back, more so on corner. He leads in interceptions at 4. So, You would think going into this game, and I kinda predict this, you would think Ole Miss would just walk in and run it all over Tulane and blow them out, and that's probably what's going to actually happen. I think Ole Miss is gonna score more points, but it's not gonna be a perfect game defensively. It's also not gonna be a close game. I see a blowout, but I still see Tulane being very competitive on the offensive side of the ball, putting points up. I just think in the end that even though they put up quite a few points, um, it's not going to be enough to keep up with what Ole Miss wants to do on their offense. And I could be wrong on this. We could look at this. By the way, if you go back to week 3, Ole Miss had won 45-10. So if both of these teams are very much improved and are looking like playoff caliber teams, someone's got to lose, someone's got to win. And let's say it's not close, and it probably won't be. I I would go, I guess do the math on this, 18-point win for Ole Miss. Um I am going to go with a score of 42-24. I mean, maybe that's a little crazy to give Tulane that many points on Ole Miss, but I've just never really been a fan of Pete Golding. I'm also not a big fan of Ole Miss's defense. It's okay. At times against teams like this, like in the regular season, that is, they can blow them out, shut them out, whatever. Tulane is definitely the best group of 5 team out there. They're one of the best, alongside James Madison, who's also in the playoff. Um, and they got a really good offense. I think you'll see that with Retzlaff. I think he wants to prove a point of why he transferred to Tulane. Obviously, there was the stuff at BYU, but he also wants to show that he's put it behind him. He's a really good quarterback. Scouts should want to look at him for the NFL, and I feel like this could be a good game for him. Um, but also, I look at Trinidad Chambliss and company for Ole Miss, and I say they're just 10 times better, and they'll put a lot more points up. But 42-24, I think, is reasonable for this first round playoff game in Oxford. Okay. We got a couple people watching. Love and appreciate that. Um, be sure to hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you're new. We'll be here for a little bit. I'll be clipping these previews and getting them out for you within the next week or so. But yeah, just we'll do. I want to preview today each of the 4 first round games. So I guess which one we do next? I guess let's get it over with. I'm so nervous about this. Is not going to work. This is totally not going to work. Oh crap! I guess we'll go ahead and preview Alabama, Oklahoma. I'm gonna get so much crap for this one. Okay. So I'll probably catch a lot of heat for this one. If you guys have been following the channel since the beginning or anything, you guys know I'm an Alabama fan. I am going to pick Alabama to win this, not just because it's Alabama, but because of the whole playoffs and hard to beat the same team twice type of deal. I don't know 100% what went wrong a couple weeks ago with the Oklahoma game in Tuscaloosa, other than Oklahoma just showed up and Alabama at times did not, and they just couldn't get it going. Much better game than what it was last year, but the last 2 times these teams have met, it has gone in favor of Brent Venables and the Sooners. I look at this game here, I the fact that well, let me say this. Um, I just think Kalen DeBoer having this much time to prepare, you're talking about from now on December 11th, you give them about 8 days until kickoff time. Um, just about. I mean, what's today? Thursday, and the game's next Friday. So, this will kick off. This will be a night game in Norman next Friday night. Looking forward to it. I'm nervous as an Alabama fan. This is at Memorial Stadium. Alabama is favored though by 1.5. Um, Picking Alabama to win this game is easier said than done, but I also feel the same way about Oklahoma. And just because I pick Alabama to win, which I will, I'm just going to be honest. I think they could get it done in the first round. Um, at the same time, that doesn't mean necessarily that I think they're going to win it all. I mean, if you saw the show the other day, I really have Georgia winning it all. So what does that tell you? Um, but Oklahoma's looked pretty good. John Mateer is a really, really talented quarterback, as is Ty Simpson for Alabama. Torrey Blaylock, the lead rusher for the Sooners at 444 yards on the ground. And then Isaiah Tanga, 948 yards through the air. And then Peyton Bowen, already 2 picks on the year, hits hard. The lead defensive back with tackles and stuff. Kip Lewis, the lead tackler overall on the team this year at linebacker. So he's got 72 tackles. There's just so much that goes into it. Robert Spears Jennings, Kip Lewis, Owen Heineck, who has 2 sacks on the year. Kip Lewis also, by the way, with 3 sacks, 3.5 sacks for Grayson Halton, 6.5 for Mason Thomas, our Mason Thomas. There's just so much. 41 sacks overall as a unit defensively for Oklahoma for 255 yards lost. So there's going to be some defense in this game. I do not expect anyone to score 3 touchdowns. I also don't think it's gonna be in the 20s. I think it's gonna be as low scoring of a playoff game as we've seen probably ever. And that's a bold statement to make. Um, I don't expect Ty to have his best day, but even if he doesn't have his best day and doesn't put up a lot of points, which that would worry me, and it probably would worry everybody out there, like, "Oh, if that doesn't happen, you lose the game." I don't I don't 100% know if that's true or not. I have a score prediction though of 17-7. I mean, is that too low? Too low scoring? I mean, could y'all get that it's a defensive game? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm going out on a limb here for that one. Man, something tells me it's going to be defensive. Something tells me Alabama being in the playoff. If this were regular season, I'd take Oklahoma. But being in the playoffs like this, it being the second time you've played Oklahoma this year, um, I feel like Alabama's just learned a lot from it. I really do, and I think that um, they're just probably in the better position to advance. I mean, I could be wrong. I It wouldn't shock me if they lose a third time to Oklahoma and Brent Venables. A third time, of course, going back to last year's loss. But man, something tells me we could do it. A night game. It's on its own on Friday night. Battle of SEC teams in the postseason, in the playoffs. You go back and look at this too. The matchup predictor does favor Alabama. They're also favored by a point and a half, 50.9% chance, count it 51. It's almost 50-50, but just slightly a point up for Alabama, um, who's 10-3 on the year. Their third loss coming in the SEC title. Oklahoma 10-2 on the year. Um, did not make the SEC championship game. Alabama, by the way, their three losses: Florida State, Oklahoma, and then Georgia in the SEC title. So, and Oklahoma's losses, I thought they lost to like who they lose? Texas in a blowout and Ole Miss. So a playoff team and a team that kind of screwed up their own season in Texas. So, which isn't a bad team to lose to, but at the same time, Texas, who was found a way to hold Oklahoma and John Mateer to 6 points, and on a really solid defense, scored 23. So, can you catch? Can you catch Oklahoma on a bad day? The last two games, they only won with 17 points on the board. Now, defensively, they look great, giving up 13 to LSU and 6 to Missouri, of course. So, we'll see. I feel like it kind of flip flops a little bit. I feel like they. I feel like it's a very defensive game. Like I said, 17-7 Alabama. I'm a big believer in what the Tide could do in this game. Now, am I going to pick them to win it all? Probably not. You saw the other day we had Georgia, so but I feel like they could at least get past this first round and get out with a victory, and we will see who comes out on top in this one. And the winner of this, by the way, facing Indiana in the Rose Bowl on New Year's Day at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. Okay. So there, I think I did everything. We talked James Madison, Oregon. Did we talk, or which one did we do? Anyway, I'm sorry. I don't know if I need rest or what I need, but anyway, we did Tulane, Ole Miss, and we did Alabama, Oklahoma. That's good for today, I think. I have to come back and make some for Oregon, JMU, and Miami, Texas A&M. So Cody in the chat earlier. What do I think about Michigan going after Kalen DeBoer? I mean, if they get him, they get him. I mean, I think Kalen's done a pretty good job. I think it doesn't look like it completely because of what we got used to with Saban, but we got to stop comparing him to that. I mean, I would hate to see KD go, but um, just it is what it is, man. I don't know. I'd be curious who Alabama would go after if Michigan ended up getting DeBoer. The question is, does DeBoer believe in Alabama, or is he just a guy trying to make some money coaching football somewhere? You know, that's what we don't know, and I think that's a big question. Hmm. Anyway, I don't have much, many people watching. Maybe we'll do something tonight, I'm not sure, but, um, yeah, that'll probably be this edition of the Christian Ballard Show, episode 35. Talked a little Army, Navy, I guess we did, I don't know, 6-5 Army going to a bowl, Navy's going to a bowl game at 9-2. It's a 6-point spread. I don't like to predict it, because I like both teams, but I mean, Horvath, who's been there a little while at Navy, I think is the best quarterback between these two teams. He's the lead rusher for Navy. Both these teams kind of run that triple option type stuff. A lot of quarterback design runs and everything. So it's cool to see. It's very unique. They go head to head on Saturday, and just have to wait and see who comes out on top. I am curious though, real quick, the streak is as far as didn't Navy win it last year? Navy was kind of the better team, and then Army for a little while was the better team. But Navy, I think, won last year 31-13. Army won two. Um, Navy has not won two in a row since 14 and 15. 2014 and 2015 was the last time. And remember, Navy in that stretch played every year with Army, going back to, I mean, forever, but they had won from 2002 to 2015. And then in 2016, Army snapped what was, I guess, a 16 game streak. So I mean, streaks get broken and stuff. Nothing special would happen this week. I mean, other than it be close and there's like a game-winning play. But I mean, you're saying, "Oh, it's been 2 years. It's been 2 years." What would he do? What would he do? You're like Navy. I mean, they haven't won back to back since 2014 and 2015. I mean, that's something. It's just been a minute since they were able to win consecutive games in the series. But overall, I mean, is there really, unless it's a dramatic finish, like, there shouldn't be much to really celebrate, uh, big time moment, although you always celebrate victory, in a game like this for sure, so, by the way, you look at this, Navy's got a national title, 25 bowl appearances, 5 national titles for Army, 11 bowl appearances. In the postseason, all-time, Army 8-3, 13, 11-1 for Navy. Conference titles, 1 for Army, none for Navy. 3 Heisman winners for Army, 2 for Navy. 37 All-Americans for Army, 24 for Navy. And all-time, by the way, program records, 745, 552, and 51 is Army. 757, 605, and 57 for Navy. There you go. That's within football. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this game. It should be a good one on Saturday. I'll be working, but maybe I could watch highlights and we could do something if it's a good enough game, we'll recap it. So, mm, anyway, yeah, that'll do it for today. I love y'all. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that thumbs up on the way out. We'll be live soon again. Maybe we'll do something tonight. I'm not sure. Jesus loves you. I love you. God bless and roll tide. We got more coming your way here at Ballard Sports Media. Love y'all.